Hello. This video has been specifically designed to give you clear information on genetic testing and research. At this point, you may be wondering why you've been asked to watch this video. You've been asked to watch this video in preparation for a medical procedure, during which some tissue samples will be collected. These tissue samples are called biopsies. Your doctors will request various tests on these biopsies in order to diagnose your condition. There are three possible results from the biopsy testing: benign, abnormal but not cancerous, malignant or cancerous. In the event that a biopsy is found to have abnormal cells or cancer, the doctor will want as much detailed information as possible in order to decide how best to treat the condition. This includes understanding the genetic changes which may have happened within those cells. During the next few minutes, we will take you on a short journey touching on the following topics: an introduction to genetics, genetic changes which occur in abnormal cells and cancers, results from clinical genetic tests, and genetic research. Genetics. Our bodies are made up of millions of cells. In the centre of each of these cells is our genetic material, called our DNA. Our DNA contains our genes. Genes are divided into sections called exons and introns. Exons code for the proteins which make up our cells, tissues and organs. If there is a mistake in an exon which affects the quantity or quality of protein, we call that a mutation. In order to find mutations, scientists use clever techniques which allow them to look at the genetic code of genes. These techniques are called genetic sequencing. In the past, scientists typically sequenced one gene at a time. Today, scientists can use new techniques which allow them to look at the sequence of all 21,000 genes in one step. When scientists look at the entire genetic sequence, it is called whole genome sequencing. When the scientists sequence the exons only, it is called whole exome sequencing. Genetic changes. We inherit our genes from our parents. However, throughout our lives, the cells in our bodies copy themselves, divide to form new cells, and when they no longer work properly, they die. Therefore, our genes are also copied and divided, and mutations are made in that copying process. Most of the time, the mutations are not in an important place and of no consequence. However, occasionally, in a particular cell, a mutation will occur in an important place. This affects how that cell grows and functions. Whenever this cell copies itself, the new cells it makes also carry the same mutation. This process gives rise to a group of abnormal cells in which more mutations can occur over time. These cells have the potential to develop into cancer. It is important to identify these mutations as they can give doctors a better understanding of the prognosis and sometimes how best to treat the condition. Approximately 5% of people diagnosed with cancer were born with a mutation which increased their risk of developing that cancer. In all the remaining cases, the cancer developed because mutations randomly occurred in the process of copying and dividing cells. Therefore, cancer is rarely inherited, but it is always genetic. Clinical results. When samples have been sequenced, experts analyse the data to identify mutations in any genes known to be involved in cancer. These results are shared with the doctor so he or she can better understand the condition. In the process of analysing these genes, there is a 5% chance that scientists will identify a mutation which was there from birth, and cause the cancer. This risk can vary depending on the cancer type. The risk tends to be higher in younger patients and in families where other people have been diagnosed with the same type of cancer. People who meet these criteria might wish to speak to the genetic counsellor to discuss this further. This finding is important because it may affect treatment and prognosis, future screening or preventative treatments, risks to other family members. Therefore, a genetics clinician will discuss these results with the patient. In the event that an inherited mutation is identified, family members will also be given the opportunity to meet with a genetics clinician. During this meeting, they will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of testing and how the results might affect their risks and screening. They can then decide whether they would like to be tested to see if they inherited the same mutation. The risks and benefits of genetic testing of your tumour are as follows. Risk. There is a 5% chance of finding out that your cancer was inherited. This can be upsetting to you and other family members. Benefits. Identifying the mutations which are driving the cancer may improve your doctor's understanding of your disease, the prognosis and possible treatment. Risks. There is a chance that family members who have not been diagnosed with cancer may experience insurance or workplace discrimination if they are found to carry a mutation which increases their risk of cancer. Benefit. You and your family members could be screened for any cancer for which you are at increased risk to allow early detection. You may also be able to have surgery or treatment to lower risk. It's important to note that there is a chance that this testing will not identify the genetic mutation that are beneficial to diagnosis or treatment. Genetic research. You may be asked if you would be willing to participate in research. This research will involve reanalyzing your data and/or reanalyzing your tumour. This research might have one or more of the following goals. First, related to your tumour and wanting to identify further genetic changes. Second, unrelated to your tumour. This may have to do with physical attributes such as height or an unrelated medical condition like diabetes or heart disease. Third, reanalyzing your tumour biopsy and/or blood samples using different methods to see if scientists can identify the best method for genetic testing for patients with tumours. Fourth, reanalyzing your tumour biopsy and/or blood samples to learn more about the genetic changes affecting your tumour growth and development. And finally, testing medications in your tumour to see if they will stop it growing. There are different types of results which may come out of this research. The main one is results relevant to your condition. These mutations might be inherited or just in the abnormal cells. If you give your consent, then researchers will share that information with your doctor. Results unrelated to your condition. There is a small chance that when analysing your genes to better understand your condition, researchers inadvertently find that you are at increased risk for a separate, unrelated condition. This is called an incidental finding. You can indicate on your consent form if you would like to be informed about such findings. In the unlikely event of either of these results, a genetics professional would consult with you. The risk and benefit of research are as follows. Risk. There is a 5% chance of finding out that your cancer was inherited. This could be upsetting to you and other family members. Benefit. You can be screened for any cancer for which you are at increased risk to allow early detection. You may also be able to have surgery or treatment to lower the risk. Risk. There is a very small chance, less than 1%, of finding mutations which causes an unrelated condition. This could be upsetting to you and other family members. Benefit. Screening or preventative treatment may exist for that condition. This could be beneficial to you and your family members. Risk. There is a chance you or your family members may experience insurance or workplace discrimination if found to carry a mutation in a gene which causes an unrelated condition. It's important to note that it is very unlikely that you will benefit yourself from the genetic treatment and research, but your participation will help scientists and doctors to better treat other people with the same diagnosis in the future.
We hope that you found the information in this video helpful. If you have any questions about genetic testing, please ask your doctor. If you'd like to discuss this testing further, your doctor will contact the genetic counsellor on call. The genetic counsellor is also available to speak to any patients who have had other family members diagnosed with the same cancer. And depending on the cancer type, patients diagnosed before the age of 40. Research will be discussed with you in more detail by the team conducting it. It's important to emphasise that deciding to participate in genetic research is your decision. Choosing to participate or choosing to decline will not affect the care you receive and will not affect your relationship with your doctors. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.